we have been able to collect the credit card payments information.
Cool. All right, so I'm Brian. I'm born and raised in Calabasas, California, which is a little bit further north of here. My background has taken me from the entertainment industry to management consulting to the startup scene, both here in the United States as well as in the United Arab Emirates. So I've had to dip my toes in many different places for many different clients, whether it was timber and construction or branded social programming for Coca Cola. So I hope to be able to speak to all of your different companies that you're working on. I have worked in medical side, the IT side, services industry, professional services. So I want to share all of my expertise that I've wrangled in the past few years and impart that onto you so that you can be better resourceful with your own marketing budgets, so that you can be better equipped to decide on who you should hire to run your marketing in-house or to outsource it, okay? And I want all of you to leave with very specific takeaways today. And marketing is a very broad field. There are a lot of tactics, there are a lot of strategies, and there are a lot of concepts. But I'm going to share with you today what I believe are the 4 most important tactics or strategies or concepts that you need for any marketing campaign. Whether you're running your first $150 marketing campaign for a golf lesson, or you're signing up corporate accounts, right? And your budget is $50,000 a month. Regardless of the size of your budget, the same principles apply. I've used these same concepts for every single campaign, for every industry, regardless of the budget size. So you are going to leave this workshop with these 4 concepts in your tool belt that you can deploy regardless of your business and regardless of your budget size. It's kind of funky with the lighting, huh?
What do you want me to do? Keep it on or?
Yeah, keep the lights on. I'll turn them off if
Do
we
I
need
want
to.
lights on or off?
Can't see.
Don't worry, if you can see me, you'll be good. I'll send out the deck afterwards. Let's leave it on for now. I'll turn it off later. So, these are the 4 segments. The title of the workshop was Quick Draw Marketing. I operate at a very fast pace. Watch your step, please. I operate at a very fast pace. Okay, I'm very aware of things that are going on. I'm very aware of the surroundings in my room. I'm very self-aware. Okay, and I know that marketing, in order to be done successfully, needs to be done quick. You need to measure quickly, you need to pivot quickly, you need to spend quickly, and you need to adjust your spending even faster. Because the slower you move, the more money you lose. Right? So all of these tactics are important to keep us limber so that we can move quickly. Alright, so we have segmenting, we have the consumer purchase process, we have our conversion funnels, and we have our KPIs. Okay? During this workshop, over the next hour, we're going to dive into each concept. I'm going to teach you the concept, and then I want you to apply it to your own business while we're here. And that way we can share feedback on the tactics that you just learned for yourself. So this is not a lecture. Okay? This is going to actually be a very interactive and engaging workshop. So we'll start with our first exercise. Together, you're going to work with the person sitting next to you. Okay? And you are going to create an ad that we're going to deploy on Google, okay, for one of these products that are up on the screen. These are all different products that all of you are selling or currently growing. You are not allowed to work on your own product. You cannot focus on the bank. Okay? You cannot focus on your golf lessons. Okay? So, team up with the person next to you. Okay? You are going to create 2 ads. Those ads need a headline and a sub-headline. Don't worry about the characters, but if you go quickly, you have 25 characters max for your headline, 35 characters for your sub-headline. Okay, you're creating an ad on a search engine that your prospective customers are going to click on. Okay, so find the person next to you. You have 3.5 minutes to create 2 ads. And then, hold on, before you get together, after we're done, we're going to go around the room and we're going to sell our ads. Grab the person next to you. All right, let's bring it in, please. All right, here we go. Here's how this is going to work. We're going to go around the room, and one person from each couple is going to read the 2 ads. Okay? Then I'm going to say first ad, and you're going to raise your hand if you like the first ad better. Then I'm going to say second ad, and you're going to raise your hand if you like the second ad better. All right? This is going to be quick, so be on your toes. If you don't have your 2 ads, we're just going to skip you for now, for the sake of time. You guys want to get started?
Yes.
Go for it. Here we go. Listen up, please. Shh, please.
Okay, so
Which product?
3 of us work for the video transcription service.
Okay.
Is that correct? Okay. So the company name is Video to Text, and so it says video to text, and the hyphen it says done in 60 minutes.
Okay.
And then in the bottom it says try risk-free for first 60 minutes of transcription. Convert your awesome YouTube video to text.
Okay. And your second ad?
Okay, second ad is same company name, video to text hyphen accurate transcription. Professional quality video to text conversion done in 60 minutes.
Okay. If you like the first one, raise your hand. If you like the second one better, raise your hand. Okay, here's how, hello. You have to pick one of the 2 ads. Okay? If you like the first ad better, raise your hand. Okay? If you like the second ad better, raise your hand. Okay, so the first ad did better. Okay, go ahead. Got it. Great. So, in this game, the reason I had you all create 2 ads and I had the audience take a poll on which ad they preferred was because the same thing happens when you deploy an ad online. Okay? If you have a $1,000 budget, okay, and you spend $500 of your budget on one ad, and you spend $500 of your budget on another ad, and one ad converts better than the other, then you did some faulty spending. However, if you had a $1,000 budget and you spent $200 on one ad and you spent $200 on another ad and you saw one ad yielded better results, that left you with $600 to spend on the better converting ad. Make sense? You don't have to just do 2 ads. You can do 8, you can do 12, you can do 120, you can do 500. You can run different ads for different keywords. You can run different ads for different target markets. Okay? It goes to infinity. But the goal, the name of the game is to reduce our costs. And the reason you run these split tests or A/B tests on your ads is to reduce your costs. Make sense? Pretty clear concept? Got it. Next. First big tool for your tool belt, segmenting your market. Okay? All of you have a wide range of people that you can serve with your products and services. However, you are only going to align with a certain group of them. So I like this picture on the screen. It's a mass market, right? Say all of these people brush their teeth. Okay? They all brush their teeth, but some of them are like me. And they're super eco-conscious, and we brush with wooden toothbrushes. Some of them don't really care. Some of them brush with toothpaste that has no fluoride. Some of them use the toothpaste that's the cheapest in the aisle at the time. So your responsibility is to choose a specific segment of people that you think you can best serve with your products and services. Now, some people go after the largest market share. My personal agenda, or my personal belief, is to go after the market that you can best serve. A little bit of a different concept, one's a little bit more holistic, one's a little bit more revenue driven. I love money too, I love making money, but I also have found my better resulting campaigns were more service oriented. So, how do we take a large population and wind it down into a smaller demographic that we can market to? And mind you, the smaller the demographic, the more value or ROI you're going to get for your results, because you're going to be able to refine your messaging to appeal to that specific target market. So here's one way to segment a large population into a smaller group of people. Okay, you have 1 million people that are looking for IT services. Maybe there's only 5,000 that fit a specific subset of a group based on common characteristics. It can be their role in a company, management position versus C-level executive position. It can be their location. You can target people specifically in a certain city, right? For a bank, you can run ads, 7 different ads to the 7 different types of audiences that are closest to each branch of the bank. And you can place the city of that bank in that ad, right? So the California Bank, it's Bank of California, Commercial Bank of California, Cerritos, and Commercial Bank of California, Irvine, can have 2 totally different ad sets, okay? So you have demographics, which are like the position, their age, their gender, and then you have these psychographics, right, which are a little bit more interesting, a little bit harder to find out, but both are tags that you can use to segment your audience. So I want you to think about your own company, okay, and I want you to define some of the demographics and psychographics that you're appealing to. And I'm going to give you 60 seconds right now to think about that and write it down. You can do their salary range. You can do whether they're married or unmarried. If they have to drop their kids off at work before they get to the office. If they are if they're a tightwad and they're interested in saving money, or they spend lavishly. Okay? So take a couple minutes and just kind of think about this for yourself. Yes?
How do we apply psychographics to corporate customers?
How would you? So like take one for example, say people who are more intimidated of their boss versus more gung-ho. Okay? So your messaging might be a little bit more tailored to insurity, safety, job security, low risk, versus maybe a new innovative technology. That's just the way you're positioning your product. You might have an innovative technology, but you may position it as guaranteed results versus be the first company to try this technology. So 60 seconds, and then I want to take 2 examples. Anybody want to share some demographics or psychographics for their own company? Yes?
Okay, so right now we're segmenting in the location aspect of New York City. And this is narrowing down specifically for more practice offices for IT infrastructure support. That's what we're doing, and user support actually.
Okay.
And so the demographics are hitting, and the psychographics in both ends.
Nice. Okay. Anyone else? Yeah. The more you share, the more we all get to know about your company.
Male tour players is the demographic.
Okay.
PGA tour players, and the attitude would be someone who's willing to make a complete swing change, guaranteed results.
Interesting. Okay.
With respect to injury that they all have and
Right.
performance that they all want.
Okay. Good. Good. All right. So we remember the Cambridge Analytica fiasco that came up. So what they did on Facebook was they ran these surveys and these tests where we input our own data to gather psychographic information. And they followed a system called it's an ocean system. But these are this is what they were tracking in our behavior. And they were running ads based on the results of what they tagged to our own profiles. One last thing I want to add is, regardless of your company's size, whether you have 7 branches or you're individual proprietor, we have the same tools that Coca Cola is using. Okay, so it's an equal playing field when it comes to marketing, right? These same concepts are used regardless of your company's size. Okay, yes, they do have larger budgets, but we can apply the same strategies and tactics and principles. All right. Second tool, and then we'll be halfway through. The consumer purchase process. Has anyone heard of the consumer purchase process before? Nice, okay. So this is a really cool concept that I love. It's one of my favorite marketing concepts. And this is a process that all of us go through when we're making a purchase. Regardless if we're buying a car, deciding whether or not to attend this event tonight, deciding whether to volunteer our time, maybe the things we buy at the market. Okay, we all follow this same structure regardless of what we're buying. So this applies to all of our customers. The first thing that happens is a need is triggered. There's a little speck of a neuron with electrons that gets fired off in the brain. And it says there's a void or there's a problem that needs to be solved. Okay? And what every person does is they start going on this journey to find a way to fill the void or find a way to solve the problem, get rid of the pain, feel better, feel happy. Okay? And they go on this journey and they find all these different options. And then they have to make a choice. Because they're not going to buy 3 cars or 2 homes or attend 2 events in the same night. They're going to evaluate which is a better choice for them to make. Then they're going to make that purchase decision. They're going to show up at that event. And after the event is over, they're going to walk out and they're going to say, man, that was a good use of my time. Or I wish I went to that other event instead. Or this car is not what I expected it to be. Okay? So, regardless of the product, you're going to go through the same purchase process. Now, in the first step, I want you to remember that when that need is triggered, the person is doing something. And I want you to think before and after. That's the trigger. What happens before the need is recognized, and what do they do immediately afterwards? Because that behavior of that consumer is going to tell you where to place your ads or where to spend your marketing resources. So for example, going back to your question about a director or manager level employee who's going to be purchasing your software. So let's think about where the need comes from, right? It's Thursday morning, it's a conference room, they're in the conference room, there's 6 people sitting around the table, this person's a director, and his boss and the CEO of the company say, we need this new technology. And they say, Sam, go tell us what's the best one. Okay? What is Sam going to do? He's going to leave the conference room, he's going to go sit down at his desk. That's a desktop computer. What does that mean? We're not spending any money on mobile ads. We're going to spend our money on desktop computers. And does he work at a corporate company? Okay, so that means he's using a corporate computer that only uses Microsoft Outlook. He doesn't use Gmail. Okay? So that means we're running our ads on Yahoo. We're not running our ads on Google. Okay? And we're using the data we pull from this process that our consumer is going through to be more effective and be smarter about how we're spending our ads. So take a second to go through the purchase process that your consumers take when buying your product. Think about it, 60 seconds. We'll give 2 examples. Any questions? You can talk it out with the people next to you if you want. Let's do that. Talk about it with the person next to you, and we'll give a couple examples. Go for it. What's this? 10, please. Here we go. We're rolling. We're moving. All right. We're jumping forward for the sake of time. We're going to the third tool for your tool belt. Okay. Conversion funnels. Conversion funnels are the way we structure our campaigns. Okay, this is the blueprint. If we're architects, this is the blueprints to the house. Okay, this is what we do to stay organized and so that all of our teams are on the same page about what tactics we're running. There's 3 sections to your funnel. Top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. Tofu, mofu, bofu are the slang words. I like tofu because I'm a vegetarian. And each section of the funnel has a different purpose. The top of the funnel is where you're attracting prospective leads. Okay, whether you're sending out mailers or you're running, you paid an influencer on YouTube to create a video, or you're running an ad on Google or Yahoo, or you're attending an event and you're doing word of mouth networking. These are all your sources of traffic. Okay, the middle of the funnel is where you teach. Okay, we are not here to sell, we're here to educate. Okay, we'll get into it. The bottom of the funnel is the exchange of value. Does anybody have cash right now? Anyone? Take out money. What do you got? $5. Here's the exchange of value. He gave me cash, I gave him the product. Okay?
They're not going away with that.
Who has a business card? Business card.
Give me the $5.
Okay. You gave me his email address, right? And I gave him my checklist. This is I gave him my lead generation checklist. Okay? So marketing, the way that I describe marketing, is controlling the exchange of value. That's my definition of marketing. So, what does a conversion funnel look like when we draw it out? This is how I draw my conversion funnels when I start. I have my traffic sources, okay? They're leading to my middle of the funnel, whether it's a landing page, okay? And the bottom of the funnel is that exchange that I'm looking for, okay? So here's a very basic one. We have a mailer and a Facebook ad. They say yes to the mailer and they call the phone number, they go to the URL on the mailer, or they click on the Facebook ad, takes them to a landing page, they make a purchase, everything's good and randy dandy. They decide it's not for them, we have our pop-up come up, and if they make if they sign up for based on the pop-up promotion, we get a purchase again. If not, we lose that lead. We lost money. Okay? Very basic conversion funnel. Okay? Let's talk about the different sections of the conversion funnels. First, top of the funnel. Okay, these are where you're running your ads and you're wrangling traffic. Okay? You can run search ads, Facebook ads, YouTube, you can pay for influencers. Any type of traffic you're looking for. It can even be, we were just talking about referral campaigns. So maybe your current customers are at the top of your funnel. Okay? Search engine ads get more bang for your buck because they are hyper-targeted to that person's need. Right? If the person has a need and we've clearly identified the way that person describes their need on a URL bar or on a search bar, then we can target that ad and we have a higher likelihood that they're going to click on the ad. Facebook advertising, content marketing will give you more opportunities to segment your ads based on psychographics. Google or Yahoo, not as much. Also, there's a really cool tool called SpyFu, and what it does is it shows you what search engine ads anyone is running, and you can see what your competitors' ads are running. And what I want you to know is that if your competitors are running an ad continuously, that means it's working. So you should be copying the text in that ad. Okay? Cool. Any questions there? Good.
is a spice food tool page.
Free and paid. More data for advanced access. Okay, middle of the funnel. Say you're creating a landing page that the mailer connects to or the Facebook ad connects to. Okay, you have to make sure your headline coordinates with that ad, right? You don't want to be mixing your messages. Fortunately, with today's technology, you can have hundreds of landing pages syncing with hundreds of unique ads. Okay, but if you're starting out, it's okay to have 1 or 2 or 3. Let's see. It's great to have credibility on your landing pages, like video testimonials, other testimonials. I always say preach benefits over features. Then, something really interesting, comparison charts. Okay? You remember the consumer purchase process? Okay? Who remembers the consumer purchase process by heart now? Anyone? Let's give it a shot. Yes. Step 1. Remember the, yeah. What is it?
Information stuff.
No, step 1 is need recognition. 2. 3.
Evaluation.
What is it?
Evaluation of alternative.
Okay, so if we know that our prospective customers are going to evaluate alternatives to us, then we should do the work for them. And the way we do that is by putting comparison charts on our landing pages. Because we know that they're going to go look up our competitors. Or we know that they're going to go look up alternative solutions to solving that pain point. So do the work for them and stay in control. Okay? So, give you an example. This was a non-profit that was running an ad campaign on Facebook. You click the ad and this is what you do. You get to their website homepage and a video pops up. Okay? You're not in control of the traffic. Okay? What I would have done alternatively was to create a landing page with the same video with a very specific call to action. Okay? And I'm in control of the traffic. Okay? Give you another example. Chug firm. They were supposed to be here today. But they have, oh, you're here. Okay, you're part of the firm. Yeah. Okay, so you guys have a lot of information on your website. Okay, about the services that you provide. And these are your corporate immigration services that you provide. And your call to action on this page is to send them an email. Not even a specific email. It's just your generic info at TubeFirm email. Okay? What I would do is change it up a little bit to be in control. So if we know this person who arrived at this page is looking for information on an H-1B visa. So you put your contact form right there, give them a place to put in their name, their email address, their phone number, select which of these visas they're interested in, and maybe in exchange for submitting the form, okay, we send them the 10 things you should know about getting your H-1B visa. Right? So these are it's a very small basic thing that you can do to stay in control of the traffic flow. Here's a comparison chart. This is one I do for my mentor program. I have a business I started called Mentor Matchmaker, and we build corporate mentor programs, and we also have a nonprofit subsidiary, and we're selling some info products now. So on my info product, okay, I have a toolkit for how to find a mentor, right? And I have my service offering versus my alternatives, okay? And I listed all the different benefits, okay? And look, which one right off the back looks the most appealing? The one with all the green check marks.
And the price.
And the price. And even I manipulated that, okay? And you can do the same thing for yourself. The question marks are to get the user to think for themselves, where they say, ooh, maybe this is, maybe this isn't. You get them kind of a little bit more engaged. Okay? Here's a little bit more of a complex funnel. Okay, this was for a webinar campaign that I ran for an author named Keith Ferrazzi. Okay, and he was selling a corporate development program. on relationships. So we drove traffic from our affiliates to a webinar, and if the person didn't want to attend the webinar, we sent them the free blueprint. And at the end of the funnel, the goal was to get them to sign up for the subscription of the course. A quick war story here is that the affiliate marketing campaign service provider that was working before me got him into trouble because their tactics were too schlocky. And his brand is about corporate culture and generosity and building relationships. So, that's why I always keep the priority of teaching rather than selling. You can add those scarcity elements, like register within the next 10 days to receive a discounted price, but you don't want to hammer it in. I like to hammer in value in teaching and content versus hammering in promotions. Cool. How are we doing on time? Good, we're doing good on time. Any questions here on funnels? Okay, for those of you that have paper, write down your funnel. Yes?
For the ad that you recommended for this company, like a little, information box, if I were you, I would have suggested a little bit more differently, like a chat box, open a chat box and kind of engage them back and forth. That would be far more value than, like one-way communication and it gets muted.
Right. Right, there are these chat-bot service providers, and who is in here? Is it chat? Yes. So, do you guys offer like a subscription model?
Yes.
So you could sign up for his chat-bot, right? Embed it on your website, and based on the queries that people write, you can tailor your response to them. You could use it as a form of lead capture. You could use it as a form of starting a conversation. How much is your service?
So it's made for the enterprises, it's 200 per month.
Okay.
But to the reseller, our partner is 100.
Okay. So 200 per month. So 200. So here's. Okay.
No, that's for him. Suggesting for his.
Ah, for you. So 200 per month. Okay. Let's continue with this example. Okay. Last tool, KPIs. Okay, there's two really important words that you need to remember with measuring the results of your campaigns. Your cost per acquisition and your customer lifetime value. Okay, your cost per acquisition is how much it costs to acquire a customer. Okay? Your customer lifetime value is how much money that customer is going to spend with you over the duration of your relationship. Okay? And what we do here is we measure the results of this. So, we have a $5,000 budget. Okay? We need to decide how we're going to spend this money over the next 5 months. Okay? We can use his chatbot service, right? That's $200 a month times 5, that's $1,000. Okay, we spend $1,000 on his service. Spend $1,000 on PR. We spend $1,000 on search ads. We can spend $1,000 on social ads, and say that adds up to our maximum budget. Okay, and then our responsibility is to measure the results of which tactic is converting the highest rate, so that we know in the next 5 months which tactic to continue spending our money on. If the chatbot ends up not working well, then we cut it. If it ends up working best, then we take away the social media ads and we try and double up with our chat service and maybe add on to the functionality of it. So here's 2 examples. Let's say we have $1,000 budget. We run a campaign, we get 250 emails. And out of those 250 emails, we have 4 new customers. What's our cost per acquisition? Anyone? Yes. What was it?
250.
Why? Explain to everybody.
So you got 4 customers out of 1,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
How did you get the number? Teach. How did you get to that number?
So you have to spend 1,000 to get 4 customers, so 250 per customer.
So yes, and it depends on what acquisition rate you are measuring. Okay, remember, an acquisition doesn't just have to be a sale. An acquisition can be an email address too. Remember the business card? So it could have been $4 per acquisition, right, for 250 email addresses, or like you said, it could be $250 per acquisition. Okay, now, if it's $250 per acquisition and we know the customer is only going to spend $200 with us, are we in good shape? Why? Okay. What about if they actually refer someone? Are we in good shape?
Yes.
Maybe. Right.
You know, the best thing would be they can negotiate a zero-sum game, saying that, you know, I'm going to use your services, but if I get a converted or paid client,
Right.
you get a higher percentage of that.
Sure.
So you can do it in a way where he gets more, and you know, that's almost no risk for him.
Yeah. And if you have the resources to participate in those kinds of dialogues, then great. But if you're running, say, something at a larger scale, and maybe you haven't had the sales team to do that yet, then maybe not.
Yeah,
So
the larger scale usually has a budget.
Right.
Smaller scale they don't.
Right. So at the end of the day, it can get a little tricky, right? Because if you're a startup, maybe you're willing to eat some debt to get to acquire your first customers to take on data. If you have a boss who is all about margins, then you have to be a little bit more strict. Great. So that leaves us to yes.
Yeah, I have a question. You're talking about getting customers who can refer and all, right? So what do you do with a customer who signs up, pays the money after he uses all the services? So you got the money, so you're a happy camper. But afterward he says, "Oh, I didn't like something, or my system was misused, so I didn't jack up all the transactions you're telling me I did." So he wants to, what do you call it? He disputes the charges with the credit card company.
Right.
So
my word of thumb on that is to issue the refund, because those kinds of people that make the biggest stink are going to go out there and post a comment on a review or a tough comment. So if they're making that big of a stink, I would let them go personally, but it's up to you. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of slimy people, so I figured, giving free stuff away, if somebody has been working with you for 6 months and in the 7th month he's disputing something, he has a point.
Right.
Somebody starts today, in 2 months he's disputing, and you know for a fact he's lying, you need to stand up and just say, well, this is what I'm thinking of doing.
Right.
Because there are some people who will take you for a ride.
I think the difference is we're not saying free, we're saying on certain results.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you say free, that means there is no value.
So
If you're saying on a certain value or a certain benchmark, the benchmark would be the acquisition of an email address as one part, or it could be a converted sale.
Right.
You can set the benchmarks and you can discuss or negotiate for it. In some cases, acquisition of email address is a pretty good value.
right.
In some cases, it's not. Like in the lawyer service, it may not.
Right.
But in case of consumer product, yes, it could be.
Cool.
So it depends on what you're looking at.
Right. So let's wrap this all up. Okay, we're doing really good on time. It's 8:05. So I kept this on track so that all of you can make it home early. We now have 4 tools in our tool belt, okay, that we can apply to our current situations, our businesses, okay, that will help us manage our budget smarter. It will actually help us better serve our customers, because we can provide better value to them based on knowing what their needs are, okay? And we summed it up in really 4 tactics. But I call these 4 tactics or concepts or principles the mother sauces of marketing. The mother sauces in cooking are kind of like the 4 basic sauces that all the other sauces stem from. Okay, these are the 4 most important concepts or tactics that can expand into more complex tactics. Okay, you can create your segments and you can hyper target. Okay, you can test many different kinds of segments. Okay, that consumer purchase process, you can follow it in a basic format, or you can create specific consumer purchase processes for each segment. Okay, regardless of how many segments you're testing, you always want to structure your ads with a conversion funnel, filtering your traffic sources that come to your website to find people who really crave your services. And then finally, measure everything that you're doing so that you know whether you are spending your money efficiently and you're getting a return on investment for your marketing dollars. So with that in mind, my information is up here. If you ever want to get a hold of me, I'm glad to speak with you on the phone for 15 minutes and quickly go through your funnels or your segments. Okay. I also run a consulting practice. If you need consulting services on the marketing side of things, I would love to work with you. Also, I would love to work with your friends and colleagues. Also, please remember that I run the Mentor Matchmaker program. That is a newer program for me, and I'm looking to work with companies that would like to use the program as a corporate culture initiative. And then finally, I've been spending a lot of time expanding into India, and I would like to start teaching or providing marketing services to companies in India that would like to expand into America. So thank you again for giving me the opportunity to share my wisdom with all of you. And if you want to stick around for the next 30 minutes, we have the space. Please take some food with you. And also, that checklist that I gave to Anil is available on my website. It's a checklist of all the different tactics for your top of the funnel, for your middle of the funnel, and for your bottom of the funnel.